아이고. 아. 하이. 아. Hello. 안녕하세요. My hair looks nice today for once. I washed it and I blew dry it and I combed it so it looks nice. And baby, I think might wake up maybe soon. I don't know. He was a little fussy this morning, so hopefully not too soon. But I was like, oh, why not? I should stream, make more content. But at the same time, today I don't know what to talk about. What should we talk about? Where did I was going to check where I ended off last time. I know I had like a part 2 that I was supposed to finish, but I forgot. So I think today, in terms of this is so messy. I told Mia to like put it away from the view side, but it's here. As long as it doesn't bother you guys, it's okay, right? It's not that bad. Does it bother you having like a bed here? Should I try to like push it away from the view? I don't know. Maybe I can put it over there. Let's see, what can I do? Wait, I want to see. I didn't notice? Okay. Some people might. Maybe if I like kind of scoot over here, it'll just kind of look like a nice comfy sofa. Okay, that's good. What's another thing I can talk about today? Let's see. Let's yoink off of other people's contents. Content. Let's see. Yeah. What is viewbots? There's viewbots? Let's see. Oh! Good. Okay, I wanted to talk about pregnancy. We're going back to pregnancy now. The reason why is one of our interns, waifu, I think, is currently pregnant. So let's talk about today is the early stage of pregnancy chit chat conversation. And yeah, like I said, the reason why is one of the viewers' waifu is pregnant, and I think she's going through a lot of being nausea all the time, not being able to sleep well, and having full night's sleep. Yeah. And I think that's the hardest thing for me, honestly. 안녕하세요. 쏘세요. 잠시 곧 먹을게요. Good morning. So during my pregnancy, early stage was, to be honest, the worst throughout my current experience. So right now I have a 100-day-old baby, and I've gone through the full stage of pregnancy, right? So if someone were to ask me, as of right now, Jinri, when was the hardest time? Like what time period would you pick? I would have to say the first 12-13 weeks of pregnancy. And I didn't really stream it a lot or tell you guys more in detail during my early stages because it was really, sorry to swear to my baby, like cover ear baby, shitty. It can be the worst experience ever of early stage pregnancy. And I know some people's early stage pregnancy, it varies depending on the waifu, but I think there's a lot of people that have the morning sickness. And let me tell you about the morning sickness, because guys need to be educated on how shitty this morning sickness is. And I think I told you guys once, it feels like you wake up and you have a really bad hangover. How many of you guys drink? You guys probably drank a lot, right? In college, you know, you had that house party, you had that like shitty beer from the keg that you have no clue where it's from. It's probably like half water, half ice. And then you get all these like $10 vodka, you mix it up with orange juice. You guys never had that? During college years, that's like something we had, because like, you know, we're college students, we're poor, we don't have money, but you want to get wasted, so you get the most crappiest alcohol ever. And that's oh, okay, well, for those who know what I mean, it's basically you have the really 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 crappy alcohol, and you know, you drink like 20 shots of it because, you know, whatever. And then you wake up the next morning feeling like, can someone get rid of my kidney and my liver and my every just part of my organs? So at least for hangover, you have a point where it feels better. But the early stage of pregnancy, there is no better. There is no, oh, it will get better next day. There's no end. You just pray that one day it will end. That is what it feels like early stages. So for me, my symptoms of early stage pregnancy was I had really, really bad morning sickness. Oh yeah. And then I also had the fatigue. So I was super tired, as in a lot of you guys know I stream a lot, and I try to stream every day, right? Every day at 9 a.m. it was my stream time. I think if I look at my stats for October, I only streamed 3 times, 4 times, because I knew that I couldn't stream. And you feel helpless and you feel useless and all the most depressing thing that you can ever think of. That's what it felt for me, my early stage of pregnancy. And so you get cranky a lot. So who do you get the stress out on? There's always your husband. Poor husband. You know, we always bring out the husband, but hey, you don't have to go through having like a baby inside your body, right? So you have to deal with it. And my early stage, the worst part was I also had to move to a different location. So trying to settle that and trying to work at the same time is very bad. That's why I think it's very important to have I know in Korea they have you get out of work early, so maybe like 3 or 4 because of that morning sickness. So it's really good that they have those, but some people just don't quite understand. Especially in Korea, there's this saying of, hey, back in my days, I had like 10 kids, right? And every time I was pregnant, I would still go out to do some farm work or cook dinner or cook more like breakfast for, you know, your grandpa, your whatever, blah, blah, blah. Guys, it's 2025, right? So luckily I don't have that many people saying that around me, but I definitely had people who weren't feeling heavy of a nausea or all those symptoms. So yeah, I think of the 3 symptoms, the worst definitely was nausea. One thing about the nausea that I really hated was it always comes at night. They call it morning sickness, but it always comes at night for me. So at 11, you're holding on to the toilet, puking your gut out, right? And there was one time where I had to wake Mia up. Mia sometimes can't sleep well, so he takes the melatonin, which is a supplement to make him sleep. So he had that and he was falling asleep, and I was trying to sleep too. And I still remember it was 11:20. And I told Mia, I was like, Mia, guess what? He's like, oh shoot, what happened? Well, what's up? He's like, can't wake up. I'm like, I need you right now to go and buy me Pocari Sweat. For those who don't know what Pocari Sweat is, it's just like Gatorade. It's just ionic water. Is that what we call it? So it's just like Powerade. And those actually help through pregnancy. I'll talk about like drinks or food that might be helpful, but it has a lot of sugar. I guess. But it's like sports drink. But anyways, I was like, that's what I need. And me is just like so dead. He's like, he just took the melatonin. He's like, what? And I'm like, but even his action pissed the crap out of me. So I was like, okay, fine. If you don't want to get it for me, I'm gonna go. This woman brain mindset just goes crazy. But anyways, that's how bad the nausea is. So it really is important for the guys to be attentive and like be with the wife, as it, if she needs something, get it ASAP. So that's why I don't actually recommend taking melatonin, because honestly, I was super pissed off that he couldn't wake up and he wasn't pleasant when he was waking up. It's kind of funny. No one's really pleasant when you wake up or when you wake someone up. But the pregnant waifu, Jinri, was definitely not in a good mood of seeing him pissed off when I'm puking right now, right? So that was the hardest moment. And the second hard thing for me during pregnancy was not being able to stay awake. I know a lot of people have trouble sleeping, but I was the opposite, where I'm just sleeping and I would get 12 hours, 14, 15, 16 hours of sleep and I'm still sleeping. I would usually wake up maybe 2 in the morning to go to the bathroom, which is also another symptom that I had, and then I just would fall asleep right away, and then I can't wake up till like 9 or 10. So there was a lot of times where I would write to my chat, my interns, my viewers, being like, I can't wake up, my body isn't functioning, which is kind of funny because, you know, at the time I didn't tell you guys I was pregnant. I wanted to make sure I was settled down. You have to wait till 12 weeks into your pregnancy to kind of notify, because there's a lot of miscarriages early in the stages. So you want to be careful, and that's why I don't really advise people to tell others that you're pregnant in the early stages, because, you know, it sucks. It really sucks. So yeah, I could tell my chat saying I was pregnant and I'm tired. So I know a lot of you guys told me, I thought you were just a very lazy streamer. Well, it makes sense, right? But yeah, it definitely does feel like a bear in hibernation and you just don't want to do anything. But at the same time, if you don't like to do anything, then you feel useless and helpless. So, and I think the reason why it's being like this, your body is getting a lot of hormones and, you know, your body's working to make a baby inside of you, right? So definitely you will be tired. So that's why during early stages, I was very careful on what I eat, because one, anything like smell wise, I hated bulgogi smell. Any Asian seasoning smell was the worst thing. So those made me be like, and food. So I usually really like to have sugary drinks, and that's also a bad symptom, because in your week 24, you take the test. What is that test called? Oh shoot. That test is called indang, pregnancy. Shoot, I learned the word and I forgot. Oh, gestational diabetes test. And that's the most scariest test of all. I think that is like the final boss. I feel like I mentioned this to you guys, right? So because that's the final boss, you have to be careful. So that's the hardest thing about early stages. You can't eat what you've been normally eating, but at the same time, you have to be very strict on your diet, because you don't want to gain too much weight in the early stages, because there's high chances that would be cause of gestational diabetes, which we'll talk about later in my podcast. But so in Korea, which is interesting, they recommend this lemon candy, because something that's sour is supposed to help you with like the nausea, the throwing up. That didn't work for me. I really enjoyed cereal. I know a lot of people enjoy cereal. I really enjoyed McDonald's, and let me tell you, McFlurry McDonald's McDonald's is officially like my favorite, but that really helped me through my nausea during early stages. So it really sucks. You can't really do anything about it too. And you would think there is like an end date of this feeling, right? But there isn't. Some people actually have the morning sickness till the end of the pregnancy, like till 30, like week 30. Some people get it done early in the pregnancy. I was lucky. My nausea ended around week 12. So it started maybe for me around week 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7, and then it got worse by week 10, where I was like, I love my bed. The bed and I are one. We cannot be separated. And by week 12, it died away, which is also another interesting thing, is that this morning sickness or this early stage of pregnancy symptoms just die out, like as if I got a miscarriage. So it's also a scary thing, because you just wake up one day and you feel it's very refreshing. Is that scary? Like, imagine you were like, you wake up and you're like, ugh, or you wake up and you're like, oh my god, I can't like function, right? But one morning you just wake up and you're like, hello, I'm a normal person again. So for me at least, I had to do my pregnancy test again just in case, or I was worried a lot at that time. So I told Mia, I was like, you want to check up with the doctor today, because I'm feeling so fine. So pregnancy, the whole experience of pregnancy, you're always worried and you're always just antsy, you're always very sensitive to everything. So you just have to understand, and it's really hard for guys to understand. Like for me, I felt bad for Mia because he couldn't do anything, and if that's always the case for him, he gets stressed out. If he can't help out somehow, then like it's stress. So the whole time he's just like, what can I do? And I'm like, I keep asking for sugary food, right? And he knows that the gestational diabetes is a huge thing. So he's like, can we do other things other than like sugary food, right? So guys are just left there and they can't do anything. And all they can do is become a sandbag. And that's the start of the life of being a sandbag, right? So in that sense, one advice I have for guys during early stage of pregnancy is figure out a different way of relieving stress that your wife is okay, or if you know, just do it secretly because you are going to get so stressed out, and you have to deal with it. Unfortunately, you have to deal with, you know, like being your wife's sandbag, but you will get very stressed. Yeah, so either play games, just don't do anything. Like when I mean relieve your stress, that doesn't mean like hook up with other girls, go to clubbing, or do all the like bad relational advice. But if you're okay with playing games, or even seeing your friends, but that's also a scary thing, is when you go see your friends, only go see them during the daytime to just drink coffee and talk. Don't be drinking. If the girl sees you drunk and you come home, she will not be happy. So there's a lot of limitation on what a guy can do during the early stage of pregnancy. But I think that's what I would advise. Is it really sucks. And the only thing I can say to like pregnant women is there will be an end to the nausea. And I know a lot of people do take medicine, but personally, I didn't take the meds because I honestly think, even if there's good scientific background of saying some of them are okay, I still wanted to be safe. So I didn't take meds, but it is okay for people if it's way too bad, as in you're puking so much that you need to get like food in your body. Taking meds is okay. So, but if you can kind of withstand it and kind of blame it on your husband, I would choose that option first. So always pick other things before taking the meds is what I would prefer. And yeah, there will be an end, I swear. by once you hit the mid pregnancy, like the second trimester of pregnancy, you will be the most happiest person. You will be running. At least that's what I was doing, because I remember my second trimester, I was doing a lot of IRL streams, right? So going outside to stream and film for you guys. So there will be an end. So don't worry, but it just sucks. There's no solution, I think, to the morning sickness or being tired or everything. And yeah, so every time I remember, or every time I would be puking, I say to myself, I will never ever get pregnant. But as of right now, who has been taking care of a baby for 100 days and more, I say to myself, pregnancy wasn't that bad. So I think that's how people get like their second child or their third child. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I would say to the early stages of mornings or early stages of pregnancy is it just sucks. There's no solution. Just try to eat healthy, like find food that is healthy, but at the same time, something that you can eat, because trust me, if you want to get back to your original body shape, being fit during pregnancy is the number one thing. And I will be talking about that separately, because right now I have like 2 kilograms left of my original weight. So I know it will be stressful not being able to eat, especially sugary food. I don't know why, but when you're pregnant, you just crave sugary food. You crave like the most unhealthiest food out there. Like I can tell you, every time I'd be done with the hospital, I'm like, we're heading to McDonald's. I'm getting my spicy chicken burger with McFlurry, Oreo, and Sprite. Not Sprite Zero, just Sprite. Mia hated it, but I was like, that's what I'm getting. You have no like excuse. But yeah, try to eat healthy, I think, is the most important thing. I guess that's, yeah, so the body is doing a lot of work and it does want easy calories. So, you know, you can always choose the easy way, but yeah, it was really smart of me to think about the future of, well, it wasn't really me thinking. So funny story about like losing weight and everything is during the whole 10 months of pregnancy, I really hated Bia. Like I wanted to because it just makes me speechless of how much I hated my husband during my whole 10 months, because he was very strict on my diet in terms of food, as in what you can eat and blah blah blah. So I didn't have raw fish, I didn't have any alcohol, not even alcohol 0%. In Korea there's like 0.00% where you can drink it, blah blah blah. No caffeinated beverages, including tea, coffee. I know you can drink once per day, but you also have to, you know, there's a lot of things to worry about. So for me, I was like, okay, we're not gonna have that. And then I had a lot of veggies, especially I had a lot of cabbages, blah blah blah. And every time I would go to the hospital, he would watch my weight check of how much weight I would gain, and I felt like I had a personal trainer with me. So during the whole 10 months, I was about to like shoot him sometimes. Either that, or I was about to like tie him up and like hit him with a bat, be like, you know how hard pregnancy is. What's annoying is he really felt like a personal trainer, because every time, like, no, not every time, once a while he will buy me McFlurry from McDonald's and I would be like, oh, thank you. Oh, you bought me McFlurry? That's so nice of you. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Now that I think about it, I'm like, what am I thinking, right? And what was really annoying was he was just having beer right next to me while I'm in the pregnant state, not being able to drink. So during the whole 10 months, I was about to be like beating up on him, being like, how dare you, oh, worry about my weight, I will kill you, right? But then I had my baby, so I grew 17 kilograms, which is around the 16 kilograms total during my whole pregnancy, which is 32, 33, 34 pound, 35 pound approximately. 16 times 2.2, right? I ended up losing 14 kilogram. So for 3 months. In 3 months, I lost 14 kilograms. And so I'm kind of getting back to my body. And then I started swimming because I actually went swimming in the morning. So that's why I couldn't stream early. But I actually ended up being able to swim for at least 30 minutes. So like my body looks nice and I have nice face and skin. So my aunties were surprised when they saw me because they thought I'd be kind of like chubby and like, bad. And I was like, hi. And they were like, wow, you look like you didn't have a baby. So I was like, oh, that's the best compliment, right? So that's where I'm like, I'm begging Mia. But that 10 months, it was awful. Yeah, that's scary. I honestly wanted to make him try the pregnancy suit. He was not going to try it. I was so pissed off. But I think honestly, all guys should try the pregnancy suit because I know some people say, hey, I have a belly. I already have a pregnancy body, but you don't have the boobs, man. You forgot to add in the D cup boobs, right? And your stomach needs to be more like horizontally out. Usually the regular just fat bellies are more rounded and you're rounded on the side too, but pregnancy bellies versus fat bellies are different. Pregnancy bellies, your belly's more out because there's a baby inside you, right? So I really think all guys should try the pregnancy suit if you have the chance, or have a watermelon in the front. And what do they do for boobs? Well, I mean, like double check on your wife's boob size and then add 2 up. But you guys need to know how hard it is to get up and how hard it is to bend over and pick up shenanigans and how hard it is to do anything with that body. So please, if you have a chance, try it on. And yeah. Well, anyways, that was my early stages of pregnancy experience. And like I said, it was shitty. You can't do anything about it. And I hate those people, by the way. When someone's having a shitty experience, I don't want people saying to me, oh, well, for me, it was okay. It's like, I don't care if yours was okay. Mine was shitty. I don't care about your experience. So, don't say that to me. Yeah, that was my experience I wanted to share with you guys. Isn't it crazy how people say that? Sometimes it's like, oh, not that many. Like, for example, to be honest, because none of you guys currently have babies and stuff, let me just tell you, my baby is a unicorn. For him to sleep by himself like this and for me to stream like this, it's a miracle. Within 3 months, of course, there was a lot of my time put into him, trying to train him into doing this, which sounds kind of weird, but I quote unquote taught him, because think of my baby, I always thought him as an AI, right? Data analyst. So anytime I recognize a signal that he's giving off, I figure out what he wants and I give him what he wants. Usually that's what I've been doing, and I've also been training him as if I'm training an AI to sleep. So I give him the same procedure of, okay, we're gonna now sleep, we go to the room, we turn on this shh sound, I'm gonna hold you and tap you, I don't care if you're whining, means that you need to go to sleep. But I just don't do this randomly. My baby gives a sign off saying I'm tired, So that's when I do it, but it does really feel like I'm training an AI model. Well, it's pretty interesting. I'm feeding him data, and then comes out an AI baby. I don't think this is a good way of taking care of baby. But I saw this morning a post on Instagram of like MBTI, and for the mom who is an ESTJ to be happy, the baby just has to follow the plan that the mom has created, and it was me. So we have a very nice schedule. But anyways, going back to the my baby being a unicorn. My baby is a unicorn, but I don't tell this to other people, especially those who have a baby, because it does sound like I'm bragging, and I don't like that. Because some babies have a hard time sleeping, so some moms have to carry the baby for the baby to sleep, and if the baby is put on bed, like put down, then the baby cries. There's some magic going on there, right? My baby doesn't do that. So I had a friend who had a baby 1 month earlier than my baby, and we just check each other out through Instagram feed, right? And so I see her baby, and her baby's super skinny, and I was like, oh my god, that's kind of worrisome, right? But I don't say anything, especially because I know the baby's being fed with formula. Usually formula babies are a bit chubbier than breast milk baby, but her baby was even skinny. The baby looks skinnier than my baby, so I was like, holy cow, that's kind of scary. But I'm not gonna be like, and my baby woke up. But anyways, I just said, oh, your baby looks cute, or congratulations on your 100th day. I'm looking forward to my 100 days in like 1 month, blah blah blah. And she talks about her problem of, because I just asked like, how are you doing, like how's your baby doing, are you getting enough sleep, blah blah blah. She tells me how like, oh, her baby will not sleep until 12, like 11 p.m, like 12 a.m, and the baby is not wanting to eat a lot, so that's been a lot of stress. And like, I'm not gonna be there be like, oh really, that's unfortunate because my baby is really good at sleeping and eating. Right? So, but there are definitely some people that doesn't really get the vibe of, oh, that person's having trouble, let's comfort the mom, instead being like, oh, let me brag about my baby, right? So no, if you have a friend that's having a hard time, please try to relate instead of bragging about yourself. That's the basic of having a nice conversation, and I feel like some people don't know that. But yeah, but isn't it sad? It's like, I'd be so stressed out if my baby cannot sleep. Like, to be honest, my baby's schedule is really nice. He sleeps, eats, and plays. He plays for maybe like an hour or two, and eats for like 20-ish, 30 minutes, and then he sleeps for like an hour or two. I mean, it can go short. Like right now, it kind of became short. I'm just kind of waiting on him to see if he wants to wake up, but now he has a... Wait, let me just check out the baby. 잠깐만. Hi guys, baby woke up. Baby is sad. Baby is super sad. Hide the baby's face. Okay, baby, say bye bye. Baby, don't show face. Okay. I will figure out a better story next time. Tell me more things you guys want me to talk about pregnancy and baby and the stuff related. And I'll let you guys talk more. It's fun talking about my pregnancy and the baby stuff. I'll talk about food. Anyways, bye guys. It's only been 35 minutes. Recovery after birth. Oh yeah, I'll tell you how I lost my weight and stuff and how I recovered, but you have to do a lot in the front. Okay, bye guys.